Deep within the primordial heart of one of North America's last untouched wildernesses, where ancient trees form a cathedral canopy and the air hangs thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, a team of modern-day explorers is conducting a meticulous investigation. This is not a scene from a fantasy novel, but the real-world, painstaking work of the Expedition Bigfoot team, led by the determined Russell Acord. They are armed not with swords, but with GPS units, high-resolution cameras, and DNA collection kits, pursuing a goal that has eluded generations: to find conclusive, scientific evidence of the creature known as Bigfoot. For decades, the field of cryptozoology has been littered with the wreckage of failed attempts, grainy photographs, shaky videos, and anecdotal accounts easily dismissed by the scientific mainstream. Yet, for Acord and his dedicated team, this pursuit is driven by a profound conviction that they are not chasing a phantom, but investigating a genuine biological mystery. Their methodical approach, which prioritizes empirical data over sensationalism, has now led them to what they describe as their most compelling discovery to date: a series of footprints that defy simple explanation and could potentially rewrite the textbooks on North American wildlife. The discovery was made in an area so remote that its trails are known only to the wildlife that inhabits it. The team had been following a river system, theorizing that a large, intelligent creature would use waterways as natural corridors. It was here, on a soft, muddy bank far from any known human trail, that they stumbled upon the trail. The initial sight was staggering, a sequence of impressions so large and so perfectly formed that the team fell into a hushed silence. The tracks were enormous, measuring significantly longer and wider than any known human foot. But it was the specific morphology of the prints that captivated the researchers. Each impression showed a clear, deep heel mark, a robust arch, and a defined ball of the foot with toes that tapered off in a way inconsistent with a human gait. The stride length, the distance between each print, was immense, suggesting a creature of tremendous height and power, moving with a purposeful, bipedal confidence. The depth of the impressions indicated a weight that could easily surpass that of a large bear, yet the gait pattern was unequivocally that of an animal that walks upright on two legs. "This was a eureka moment," Acord recounted. "We've seen questionable tracks before, but these were different. The biomechanics were perfect. The pressure releases, the weight distribution, it all pointed to a living, breathing animal of immense proportions, one that moves with a natural, fluid motion you simply cannot fake." Understanding the monumental potential of the find, the team immediately implemented a strict protocol to preserve the integrity of the site. They called upon the expertise of primatologist Dr. Mireya, a scientist with a history of documenting new species in the field. Her involvement marked a critical shift from mere exploration to rigorous scientific inquiry. "My first instinct is always skepticism," Dr. Mayer explained, carefully examining the first print. "Could this be a bear print that has melted and distorted? Could it be a hoax? We have to systematically eliminate all probable explanations before we can entertain extraordinary ones." Under her guidance, the team's examination became a masterclass in forensic science. They used laser rangefinders to map the exact stride pattern and high-precision calipers to measure the length, width, and depth of each print. It was during this painstaking process that they uncovered an even more tantalizing clue: a second set of footprints. These tracks, following the same path, were noticeably smaller, though identical in shape. The discovery sent a ripple of excitement through the team. "The presence of a smaller track changes everything," Dr. Mayer noted, her voice filled with scientific intrigue. "It immediately suggests we are not dealing with a solitary, anomalous individual. We could be looking at evidence of a population, perhaps even a family unit. This opens up entirely new lines of inquiry about social structure, parenting, and life cycle." The context of the find added immense credibility. The prints emerged from the edge of the river, climbed the bank, and proceeded into the forest. Their pristine condition, with sharp, uneroded edges, suggested they had been made very recently, perhaps within the preceding 24 hours. The isolation of the area made the possibility of an elaborate hoax logistically implausible. The team's documentation process was exhaustive. Before anything was touched, the entire site was photographed from every angle using DSLR cameras mounted on poles to capture an aerial-like perspective. Then, they deployed a state-of-the-art 3D scanner, which created a precise digital model of each print and the entire trail, capturing details invisible to the naked eye. The next, most crucial step was casting. Mixing a special dental-grade stone in buckets, the team carefully poured the mixture into the clearest prints, allowing it to set into a rock-hard mold. These casts, which would capture the unique dermal ridges and minute contours of the foot, would become the permanent, tangible evidence for further laboratory analysis. The casts are our Rosetta Stone, Acord said, watching the mixture set. They allow us to bring the evidence out of the forest and into a lab where it can be compared against known species by experts around the world. The most promising, and potentially revolutionary, aspect of the discovery lay in the search for trace evidence. Wearing sterile gloves, the team used tweezers and sterile swabs to carefully collect soil from within the deepest part of the footprints, hoping to capture sloughed-off skin cells or hair follicles. DNA is the holy grail, Dr. Mireya stated. A single hair with a viable follicle could provide the genetic blueprint needed to confirm the existence of an unknown species. It would move the conversation from, if it exists, to what it is. The Expedition Bigfoot team is acutely aware of the skepticism that greets their work. They need only point to the now declassified FBI files from the 1970s, in which the agency analyzed a sample purported to be from Bigfoot, only to conclusively identify it as deer hair. For the mainstream scientific community, such anecdotes reinforce the view that Bigfoot is a cultural phenomenon, not a biological one. Yet, it is precisely this history that drives the team to adhere to an unimpeachable standard of evidence. We welcome the skepticism, Acord asserts. It forces us to be better, to be more thorough. We are not here to prove something to believers. We are here to provide irrefutable evidence to the world. For Russell Acord, Dr. Mireya, and the entire Expedition Bigfoot team, the discovery of these footprints represents a pivotal moment. It is a point on a map that they believe leads toward a paradigm shift in our understanding of the natural world. The path ahead is long, and the analysis of their collected evidence will take months. But as they stand in that silent ancient forest, looking at the trail that leads deeper into the unknown, they are driven by a powerful conviction. They believe they are no longer merely hunting a legend, but following the tracks of a living creature, one step closer than anyone has been before to solving one of humanity's greatest and most enduring mysteries. In the vast, silent stretches of North America's last wild places, the search for Bigfoot is more than an expedition, it's an obsession. For Russell Acord and the dedicated members of the Expedition Bigfoot team, the quest has become a lifelong commitment, a promise made to science and to the unknown itself. They have declared, with unwavering conviction, that they will not stop. Not until the mystery is solved. This is not the fleeting enthusiasm of hobbyists or the sensationalism of reality television. This is a methodical, generation-spanning mission that has become intertwined with the very identities of those involved. The team's resolve is not born from blind belief, but from a series of compelling encounters and evidence that have cemented their certainty that they are on the trail of a real, biological entity. Their determination is fueled by three unshakable pillars: the quality of the evidence, the evolution of technology, and a profound sense of purpose that transcends mere discovery. The team's resolve is hardened by what they have already found. The clear, casted footprints with dermal ridges, the eerie, unexplainable vocalizations recorded on sensitive audio equipment, the staggering sightlines broken in the deep brush, these are not myths to them. They are data points. Each piece of evidence, like the recent trail of bipedal footprints suggesting a family unit, acts as a beacon, pulling them deeper into the wilderness. For us, it's no longer a question of if, but when, says Russell Acord. We've seen too much, documented too many things that cannot be explained by known animals or hoaxes. To stop now would be to ignore the scientific process itself. When you have a hypothesis that is consistently supported by field evidence, you test it relentlessly. You don't walk away. For the core members of Expedition Bigfoot, the search has evolved into a legacy mission. It is no longer just about their personal curiosity, it's about contributing a fundamental truth to the world. Primatologist Dr. Mireya frames it in scientific terms. The discovery of a new, large-bodied primate would be the most significant zoological find of the century. It would redefine our understanding of North American ecology and hominid evolution. The responsibility to see this through, to apply rigorous science to this question, is a burden we willingly carry. We owe it to the scientific community and to the public to follow the evidence wherever it leads. This sense of responsibility creates an unbreakable will. They are driven by the potential impact of their work, the knowledge that they could be the ones to finally solve a mystery that has captivated humanity for centuries. This purpose fuels them through harsh conditions, skeptical peers, and dead ends.